Leo. Welcome to Higher Source Tarot for your 2020 year ahead tarot predictions. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed and liked and commented and shared my videos. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. Hit the bell notifications and you'll receive notifications as soon as a video is released. I do release a new video for each sign every week. This week I'm going to have the January 2020 video come out shortly after this one. And if you comment, as long as your settings are set in a way that I can comment back, I will. I'm glad to answer anything. I've been a student of meditation and also the law of attraction for about 20 years. First book that I ever read was by Shakti Gawain, and it was called Creative Visualization. And I started using those processes without really realizing what I was even doing. And I figured out that they worked. I figured out that there was something about quieting my mind and seeing myself, doing the things I wanted to do, creating the things that I wanted to create. It was my kind of first gateway into deliberate creation. So this is for all Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So if you have Leo in your chart, you are in the right place. And we are going to do this month by month through the year of 2020. If you have not yet, I would encourage you in the next couple days to sit down and write out your intentions for the year. What do you want to see in your life this year? Draw those things into you. You can create your own life just through your own intentions by being clear and knowing what you want and getting in line with the vibration of what you want. In the Cancer video at the end, I do kind of an overview of what that means, because one of the Esther Hicks cards, Ask and It Is Given, that I pulled, talked about that, and I just wanted to explain it in greater detail for those who are kind of unfamiliar with that concept. So these will be our clarifiers. They're from Esther and Jerry Hicks, also known as the great teachers of Abraham. Law of Attraction, very great messages in these. They've been working well for clarification. So without further ado, what is going to go on for Leo 2020 month by month? So here we go. We start off with January, February, March, April, okay? May, June, July, and August. Wow. September, oh boy, October, November, and December here. Okay, very nice reading for you guys. So you start off with some kind of a change in January. You've got the Hierophant here, and sorry, I've got a very bright light on the cards because it's very gloomy here today, and I just want to make sure you can see everything. So this is Earth energy, and in a previous video that I did, I gave an overview of all the Rider Tarot deck cards. And so the whole deck is about the Fool's journey, which the Fool represents your soul. So when the Fool meets the Hierophant basically gives the Fool his blessing. So I feel like, for you, you're being given a message from Spirit. With the one hand up, it's telling you to just be still and listen. Okay, as you go into the year, be still, quiet your mind. Allow the universe to deliver the things that you want for yourself. That's the beginning of manifestation, is quieting your mind. Ask and it is given. Ask and then allow. Okay, so I feel like that's really what you're being told here. You're being given a blessing, but you're also being told just to simmer down a little bit. Okay, so you go from that 5, which is change, right into a 10. 10 of Pentacles, wonderful card, because this is it's a manifestation card. It's all about your heart's desire, whatever that is. So it's different for every person. So even though the 10 of Pentacles shows, kids, it shows a couple, it shows a beautiful pasture, it's whatever you desire. So if those things are not your heart's desire, that doesn't mean you can't get that car or that job or whatever it is. Whatever you want to have happen in February, you have a very good likelihood of things working out with a lot of ease. It's a conclusion card. It's a 10, so you're going to be wrapping up some things. And I feel like the stillness that you can achieve in January is going to kind of tee things up to get what you want here in February. So in March, you've got a Tower moment, and I feel like you might have an ending to like some kind of a friendship, maybe even a long-term friendship. I've had this happen to me before where I completely did not see it coming. And once it was removed from my life, I realized it did need to go. Tower moments shake up the foundation, and whatever is going to happen for you here in March, I don't feel like you're going to see it coming. I feel like where you're standing right now, you're not aware of it, and you're probably going, what the hell, Tower? Why would I have that? I think it's going to come out of nowhere on you. But it's a time for you, it's kind of like the Hierophant, it's a time for you to release your ego. And I feel like that's kind of what Spirit is telling you for these first couple of months here, is just to align with your soul. And when we're aligned with our soul, the ego is not as loud. Our ego is not our amigo. I guess that's what I'm going to say for you for this year. Your ego is not your amigo. When you let that go, great things are going to come towards you. I mean, once you get through this first quarter, once this unfolds, I think you're going to be, the middle of the year is just going to be outstanding. So here you have another 10 with the 10 of Wands. And I feel like once you go through that Tower moment, so this is April, it's going to be kind of burdensome. I'm not going to lie to you and try to manipulate the cards to tell you something that they're not saying. You're going to have a little bit of a shitstorm in March and April. And it's going to be okay, though. You're going to weather this, but you're going to learn some lessons. And this whole deck is about the lessons the soul is here to learn. Okay? And it's kind of unavoidable if you want to expand. So embrace the contrast. Tell yourself, I know the contrast serves me, and the pain that we feel is because our source sees it a different way. That is the only reason why we feel discomfort and pain, is because our ego wants things a certain way that they're not happening that way. So, boy, this is interesting. But whose truth is the true truth? With enough attention to anything, the essence of what you have been giving thought to will eventually become a physical manifestation. And then as others give attention to it, they help expand it. In time, this manifestation, whether wanted or not, is called truth. Deliberate creation is about deliberately choosing those experiences you make your truths. And that can be very true. I had a Tower moment in my life a while back, and I had been thinking for a while some negative thoughts about a person, but I kept thinking, well, you know, we're just so far into this, it's not a big deal, I'll just kind of deal with it. And the next thing you know, they made a very dramatic departure from my life, and I was shocked and saddened by it, but I realized I had created it. So, into May here, this is very interesting because these two are counterparts. You have the High Priestess. The Hierophant is the counterpart to the High Priestess. So you actually have these two together. For some, this would symbolize marriage. The High Priestess symbolizes truth, following your intuition, being divinely guided. So I feel like whatever happens in March and April, by May, it's going to become clear. Things are going to come to light. I do feel like you're going to have love coming in. May, June, July looks really good. July, August, and September. I actually think for some of you, it's going to be somebody from your past coming back. But in any event, here you are with the High Priestess. And I guess what I would tell you with this is it's suggesting you need to trust yourself. That's where I'm getting for you guys, Leo. You need to trust yourself. Whatever happened in March and April was for your higher good, and especially if you had to cut somebody out and it was difficult. And I feel like this happens a lot for you guys because you're a very attractive energy that at times you get clingers that you don't want in your life, and it's hard for you to cut them out, but you have to. I feel like you've had something, you're going to have something like that where you have to cut somebody off. They're going to be very pissed, and it's going to be okay. And it's for your higher good. And honestly, it's for theirs too. So don't feel bad about it. Yeah, so in June, you're going to be recovered from whatever happens there. And you're going to have a lot of fulfillment. I feel like this is where, if you've met somebody coming up in May, by June, you are going to feel like it is the love of your life. They're going to treat you great. You're going to go out and have a lot of fun. I think some of you are going to do things like you'll be at outdoor concerts and be traveling. And if it's work, somebody here might get a promotion. I see that for you too, where you've worked hard, you put in the time, and it's going to pay off for sure. The Knight of Cups comes right after that in July with a big offer. Okay, this is a big offer of love. So for some of you, if you've been single for a while, you are not going to be single. And this is like somebody wants to put a ring on you for sure. This is a knight who's it's a little bit slower moving energy. The horse is coming to a stop, but that cup is gigantic. You know, if you look at the scale of it, this is somebody who's going to put their heart out there, and they're not going to be afraid to be real with you. I feel like for some of you, it could be another fire sign, because you do have a lot of fire. Also could be water, but primarily fire. You don't have a ton of earth in this. So by August here, this is the 1111 card. It's the marriage card. The two pillars are representative of an altar that was used in Hindu weddings. Okay, so you see this happy couple with their flowers raised in their ceremonial garb. You know, I feel like you're going to have some kind of an event that you'll go to. It's possible you'll travel and go away with this person, but it is a card of achievement. So I do feel like where this relationship begins with the High Priestess, it comes into really a very stable, grounded, long-term kind of a commitment here by August, okay? So your best months for love, I feel like, are June, July, and August. Moods are indicators of my emotional set points. When you continue to focus on any thought, it becomes increasingly easy to continue to focus on it, because the law of attraction is making more thoughts like it available to you. And so, emotionally speaking, you are developing a mood, or you are achieving a habitual vibrational groove, so to speak, or a set point. Okay, so, you know, it's all about neurons, as our neurons that fire together wire together. So your brain actually establishes connections with like thoughts, and those thoughts become stronger and stronger. You have about 70 thoughts per day, and 90% of them tend to be the thoughts that you thought yesterday. So if you want a new reality, you can't create it with the personality that created the old reality. Okay, you have to change your personality and change your thinking. So into September, you have the Six of Cups here. Again, this is a very fun energy. It's about reconnecting. That's where I think this person that you end up with might be an ex. Even though it's in the, you know, kind of the later part of the cards here, I do feel like it's somebody that could be from your past who realized they were just not mature enough, I think, at the time. And so they want to have a long-term commitment now that you're older, they're stable, they've seen more of life and realized what they could have had with you, or what could be with you. So I think in September, you're going to be, again, having a lot of fun with this person. It's very stable. Now, in October, we've got the Seven of Swords. This is often about deceit and dishonesty. But one thing that we shouldn't overlook with this card is that it is the number 7, and 7 is a lucky number. What oftentimes this is a signal of is that the setback is going to be short term. Okay, so you could have some kind of a, you go right from 6 to 7, you could have some kind of a setback in this relationship, or it could be something else where somebody is deceitful to you. It could be like somebody, an ex comes out of nowhere for this other person. That's what I'm getting for some of you, and wants to communicate with this other person, and it's done in a way where I feel like they don't want the ex, but they're doing it in a way that they need to be more transparent. So I think what Spirit is telling you is be open, be transparent in the relationship, and you won't have some of the uncertainty that you can have when you're not clearly communicating. So with the 7 of Swords, I think it will be short-lived, but you are going to have a little bit of a hiccup. Now, it's going to create some sadness. I'm not going to lie about that. Whatever happens here with that, it's going to kind of be, I think, disappointing, because you've got that 6 of Wands where you're really feeling confident, and you've got to be careful not to throw the baby out with the bathwater, because we're all spiritual beings having this human experience, and sometimes we get more attached to being human than we do to being spiritual, and we tend to wallow and feel sorry for ourselves and things like that. This is all about change, okay, because it's a 5. Be careful. This is a cautionary card for you in November. Be careful not to focus too much on the negative things, the negative aspects of whatever unfolds here with the 7 of Swords. I do feel like you're going to have a bump in the road here, but you don't have to let it color the rest of your year or follow you into, the next part of even December if you don't want it to. So here you've got the 3 of Wands, and this is about taking action. And, it's like here the Fool realizes that the journey is beginning, but they're holding on to one of the wands. It's like they're almost saying there's a hint of progress, but it's not too late to turn back, I guess is where I'm getting this. So I think you've got a new relationship. You're not completely sure. And in December, you're going to be kind of contemplative of this. And I think it's really the ball's going to be in your court, Leo, about what you want to do. If you want to move forward, you're just very attractive to people. You attract people kind of like a, moth to a flame. They just come forward to you. So you don't have to take anything you don't want to. So I do feel like you're going to be introspective, contemplative, considering should we be taking different paths. But I think that overall, you're going to know what to do. I want to get okay, I accidentally got 2. All right, so I had to pull a clarifier because I just wanted more. So I got the Magician. And what a great card to have with the 3 of Wands, because where the 3 of Wands lacks clarity, the Magician never does. The Magician cannot be fooled. The Magician is very sensitive in terms of reading people. And the Magician, commands the power. And then you've got the Knight of Wands here. So where I think this has been in and out, I think there's some in and out energy that causes confusion, and the Magician comes in to help you clarify and to know what to do with that. So I think overall in December, you're going to have some choices to make, but you're going to know what to do. You're definitely going to be divinely guided. I don't know for sure if you'll stay in the relationship or not. I think some of you are going to work it out, and I think some of you will say, what else is out there? But it won't be a devastating turn of events. It will be up to you what to do. My emotional set points can be changed. Well, in this too, with the tarot cards, this is energy of what, it's predictive. So if you say, well, boy, I don't want to be confused, So your job is to then seek clarity, okay? Seek alignment so that you can be clear on what you want. Your set points are achieved by attention to a subject. We want you to understand the extreme value in deliberately achieving your own set points, because once you expect something, it will come. The details of it may play out differently, but the vibrational essence will always be an exact match. And boy, have I found that to be true in my own life. So I hope you enjoyed your 2020 predictions, Leo. I will be back again later in the week with your January 2020. So please, if you haven't, please subscribe, hit that bell notification, comment, like, share. And I love you, and I will see you again in a couple of days.